Nigerian state own a duty. The citizenry also own a duty. NSC cannot continue to be crying more than the believe. This is an issue, this is policy, this is an issue that affects the whole country. NSC cannot continue to carry the cross of the Nigerian people. And so it is high time Nigeria behave like common Senegal here yesterday, that their president attempted to extend his tenure beyond April this year. And you see that including the judiciary to stop abruptly. When the Nigerian state is seeing leadership of government that is going beyond them and they don't cry out and they allow NSC to continue to carry the cross of the country.
The former Labour leader also gave reasons why the NLC went ahead with the protest despite the withdrawal of TUC and some
The NLC is the masses movement.
and some civil organizations from the protest.
The NLC is the masses movement. It's the masses movement. The Trade Union Congress is not. I'm saying that the Trade Union Congress is a management projection. They don't go on strike, and they were registered by Olusegun Obasanjo to weaken the NLC struggle. And so, because of the fact that they decided to pull out, if we don't take this step, it will look as if there's anything government can use them to truncate or destabilize each time NLC want to embark upon any action. So we deliberately ensure the protest holds.
Now, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, says the federal government will not sack workers in the course of implementing the Steve Oronsaye report. Mr. Idris made this known in his remarks at the ministerial press briefing today in Abuja. He said the essence of the implementation of the Oronsaye report is to maximize the effectiveness and efficiency of the agencies and to also reduce costs. Also, at the ministerial briefing, the Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mohammed Pate, says the federal government will soon issue an executive order to curb escalating drug prices in the country. Professor Pate said the executive order is a short-term goal in reducing drug prices. He also said the federal government is planning to domesticate imported drugs within the next 3 years in collaboration with the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. Moving on. The chairman, Bureau de Change Operators in Port Harcourt, Sani Isaka, has condemned the arraignment and remand of 16 members over possession of foreign currency. Mr. Isaka, in an interview with correspondent Emeka Otuka, said the foreign currencies were not obtained from banks. He insisted that bankers are responsible for the rising dollar rate.
Again, one of them now only $1 self they see with him. When no pass 1,500 and carry and go prison. And this $1 not the government give them. They use their money buy them to get 1 naira to get their own game. What thing them go chop for below. As I talk to you, for the black market, people are buying 1,500 and something. And the bank, if you get dollar for your account, bank will convert it to your dollar to naira at 1,750 naira. Why they not go arrest bank people? Let them they make things they go up. Maybe people where they buy for 1 naira, 2 naira.
Mr. Isaka also explained that those without foreign currency were released without payment after 3 days in EFCC's detention. Recall that a magistrate court in Port Harcourt yesterday remanded 16 Bureau de Change operators to the Port Harcourt Correctional Centre for unlawful banking business. In another development, the Joint Task Force says it intercepted over 500,000 litres of diesel in Rivers State. Speaking to journalists, the Joint Task Force Commander of South Operations Delta Safe, Rear Admiral John Okeke, said 2 vessels were arrested in connection to the crime. He said 17 suspects were also arrested at the One anchorage for not having authorized documents from the Nigerian Navy. Still to come, NCC orders telecom companies to block SIMs without NIN. Do stay tuned. I'll be right back after the commercial. Back now to the rest of the bulletin. Some motorists operating along Ozoba Road say the alternative routes provided by the Rivers State government following the construction of the Port Harcourt Ring Road are in deplorable conditions. They tell our correspondent that Gujiota and other routes are affecting movement. They also called on the government to quickly fix the bad sections of the road alongside the Ring Road projects.
Pipeline is the only alternative road now for this Ozoba going to Rumukuta, going to Ubuguru and Chuba. We have another link road that we call New Road government should look into, and the QH is another alternative road, but the road is bad.
Pipeline road now is the only alternative road and the road is very narrow. If that Kojota road will be fixed, it will reduce the hold up we are seeing here.
That Kojota road, it was a grade down for help us. These are the cost hold up here. May government come help so that they grip that Kojota.
It's very difficult for people to move because you can see the road very busy and only this pipeline road we dey use. Please, there's another road where reach Kojota where people supposed to follow the come out, but the road is very bad.
Away from that, the Edo State Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu today stormed the PDP's national headquarters in Abuja, demanding the party's certificate of return for the governorship election. Mr. Shaibu was declared the winner of a parallel PDP governorship election for the state, while Aswe Igodalo won the main election. The PDP has already presented a certificate of return to Mr. Aswe, but Mr. Shaibu was at the party secretariat to ask for the same thing. He insists he won the primary election and should be recognized as such. A leader of the PDP in Egbeda Ward 11, MOI local government area, Chibuzo Diko Obua, says he has resigned his appointment as Special Assistant on Political Matters to the MOI Council Chairman. Mr. Obua in a statement said his resignation follows the alleged marginalization and relegation of his people by the present administration in the sharing of democratic dividends. He claimed that Egbeda community has remained sidelined and forgotten in all of the project inauguration going on in the area, yet it produces the highest votes in the local government area. In other news, the Nigerian Communications Commission has reiterated its directive to telecom operators to bar telephone subscribers not linked to their national identification numbers on or before today. The Executive Vice Chairman, National Communication Commission, Aminu Maida, spoke at the NCC Special Day in Kaduna today. He said telecom consumers must link their NRN to their SIM because it is a matter of critical national security.
And now we'll bring you news from around the world.
Heavy gunfire has been heard in Chad's capital, in N'Djamena, following a deadly attack on the headquarters of the National Security Agency. The government says several people were killed in the attack, blaming an opposition party. Internet connectivity has been disrupted in the country. This comes hours after the announcement that Chad will hold presidential elections on 6th May. On the news this evening, you heard the TUC in Rivers State has dismissed reports of division within the organized labor. The NLC in Rivers State has called for a state of emergency in the energy sector. BDCs in Port Harcourt have insisted that bankers are responsible for high forex. Motorists affected by the Port Harcourt Ring Road construction say the alternative routes are in bad state. On the foreign scene, several people have been killed in an attack on the security headquarters in Chad. The news was edited by Martha Okere Inkem. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Kaladakoru Batubo. Good evening, just stay tuned.